Hello everyone. Today we'll be playing Golden Axe 2. I haven't played Golden Axe 2 in a very long time. I do remember it being my least favorite of the Golden Axe games, but it's been years, so I think it's fair to give it another shot. I don't have any tea with me this time, unfortunately. I don't remember much about the story for the second Golden Axe, so I'm excited to experience that as well. He should have been imprisoned in ancient times, you say. He destroyed entire countries with his evil, you say. I mean, I like his design, but I think I might need a little more explanation as to how he destroyed entire countries with his evil, frankly. That just sounds a bit silly to me. Let's see, what control scheme was it? I think 4? I think 4 is the control scheme we're looking for. Alright, here we go. Play as Gilius, always. Gilius is the slowest, but he hits the hardest. Okay, this is the correct control scheme. I can already say the movement feels a little different from the original Golden Axe, but not too different. I do like me some dark fantasy, and Golden Axe is a dark fantasy beat 'em up. So it's a perfect confluence of things I enjoy. I love beat-em-ups, I love dark fantasy. I love mages with skull staves. It's got it all. It really seems like every so often there's just a dark emperor that shows up to ruin this country. It isn't even that long after Death Adder showed up, and there's already a new guy destroying villagers, ransacking villages, leaving people dead as environmental storytelling in nearby huts. Oh, I kind of want this thing. I don't like it as much as the chicken leg, I think, but I can get used to its spacing. That's the thing in any beat 'em up, is getting used to the spacing of the attacks. Spacing is probably the most important component. I think I've got the hang of it. It has been a very long time since I played this, but I have played the original Golden Axe so much. And a lot of the skills obviously are transferring over. Oh. I didn't know that was a pit. I'll try to be more careful. Alright, here we go again. First boss fight. It's good to still have the beast for bosses, because the beast tends to have longer range than the bosses, no matter what beast it is. So it can be highly beneficial. We're just absolutely destroying this guy. Looks like I still got game. Instead of thieves and gnomes, there appear to be wizards in this one. I guess that makes it a more hardcore game that your health and magic pickups attack you instead of just run. As one does. Natural progression, ravaged village to ancient ruins. Hold on just one moment, I have to check something. Alright, the checking is complete. I'm back. Something I always loved about Golden Axe was the silly colors of the enemies that are definitely meant to indicate their toughness, but are also just kind of funny to look at. I think that was also the case in some old, like, kung fu movies, right? Was enemies would be colored to indicate their toughness. I gotta hand it to that villager for surviving so long. It looked like that club was serious business. I don't know if I could survive getting hit in the head with a club that many times. Oh, is this the chicken leg? Or some kind of evolution of it? It seems to have a different spacing than the regular chicken leg, though. Oh, skeletons already. Skeletons were one of the Or one of the tougher enemies in the original Golden Axe. So seeing them already, I mean, it does really feel like this game is trying to be a bit of an edgier, more difficult Golden Axe than the first game. I have been noticing that there's a lot of magic lying around, though. I suppose it's not lying around. You have to quite literally fight for it. But I already have full magic again, is what I'm trying to get at. It also seems like the areas you fight in are a lot more constrained in this one than the original Golden Axe 2. Yeah, definitely this one's aiming to be harder than the original. Which makes sense, because you wouldn't have this game unless you played the original already. As far as I'm aware, this game was only released for the Genesis and Mega Drive. I don't think it came out on anything else. It was an exclusive sequel to the Mega Drive and Genesis. And Arcade had its own sequel to Golden Axe that was completely different from this, called Return of Death Adder or some such. And it is a very well-liked game, that Arcade sequel. Yeah, I think I'm playing pretty well, but I'm still getting hammered. Which absolutely wouldn't have been the case in the original or 3. 3's a bit easier than both 1 and 2, I think. But it is a very good game, with a lot of mechanical depth, and it felt like a natural evolution of the Golden Axe mechanics and franchise. You might have noticed the jump attack is very useful. It is our primary tool for getting enemies to back off. I didn't know that's what Gilius sounded like. I'm not sure whether these skeletons can be defeated or not. It is the case in the first game that there... Oh, no, we got him. It is the case in the first game that there were some invincible skeletons, but I wasn't sure whether I should expect that here as well. I didn't mean to dash. One of the downsides of playing with an analog stick, which I always do when that's an option, is that Golden Axe has that mechanic where you dash via double tapping. And so you can accidentally double tap quite easily. It seems like this guy has a pretty good anti-air move and a long range, so we got to like worm our way in there and get in close range jabs. Seems like he's very briefly vulnerable after he swings. Very briefly. There we go, we got him. That wasn't so bad. The boss design definitely seems more complicated than in the original game, and it's hard to complain about that. Like, regardless of whether the boss design is better, it is making me think more, and I like that. How did we destroy the ancient ruins, and was that a good thing to have done? That actually sounds kind of bad. Like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. I really like the heavy percussion in this track. In general, the graphics in this game are a fair bit more evocative of actual dark fantasy than the first game, which I think is to its benefit. The character sprites are a bit more detailed too, but I think that's to be expected. Yeah, I really like this track. I'll have to look at this track after I'm done playing and see if there are any remixes of it. Because I really like the whistle and I really like the whistle and the percussion both. I didn't mean to throw that guy, but that's probably fine. Gotta be very careful. There's a pit. Taking a few hits from wizards is much more safe than going straight down a pit. This is something a lot of old beat 'em ups did, was especially Golden Axe, is reintroduce. Oh, well, there he goes. Was reintroduce boss enemies as regular foes. I think I can hit him down a pit too rather easily if I try. There we go. Yeah. Pits are your friend as well as your enemy in this game, and in Golden Axe in general. I will say, my opinion of this game is much more favorable than when I first played it on the PS2 as part of Sega Genesis Collection, and then years later. I feel much better about playing this now. Yeah, that's it. Let's play the pit game. The skeleton's gonna come to life, right? I guess not. You figure one of them would. Yeah, the environments are actually much prettier and more evocative of actual locations in this game than in the first one, which I quite like. Sorry, buddy, I just want you on that side of me so I can knock you into the pit. I really like knocking dudes into pits, you understand? Oh wow, this is gonna be rough. I know from experience that anybody with a shield is some serious business. They will just bash that shield over your head like there's no tomorrow. I've gone into full try-hard mode now, by the way. What you're seeing right now is the kind of play I would do if I absolutely wanted to avoid taking damage at any cost in the original Golden Axe. And I am still getting hit a bit. But making a bunch of like micro adjustments to my movement and exclusively doing jump attacks like this. But even with that, as you can see, these guys are no pushover. I'm already down to my last life on this continue. I should move more, jump less. I think that's what I'm learning here. Yeah, if I moved more and jumped less, it would have gone far easier for me. I don't think any of the Golden Axe games have extra lives, but that includes this one. I don't think this game has extra lives. Reach the enemy's castle, which is blocked by high mountains. We reluctantly decided to march through the cave called Dragon's Throat. Yeah, I can understand why you'd be reluctant to do that, frankly. I can understand perfectly. It does look like a dragon's throat in here also while we're on the subject. I understand why it's called that. This guy's trying to pull a move, and I don't think it's going to work for him. He keeps trying, though. Wow, what must the ecosystem in this cave be like to support what I'm looking at in the background over there? Ha, got him. Let's use this now because there's some magic books up there. Magic does absolutely seem to be in much greater abundance in this game than in the first one, in a big way. Probably because they knew this one was more difficult. But yeah, just I don't know, just in general, I feel a lot more kind toward this game than I used to. It just seems like you know, let's do the first game again, but harder sort of deal, and prettier. I do think the environments look really nice in this game so far. I shouldn't have left myself open like that back there. There's so many micro decisions in games like this. That guy juked me. You just want to, in general, not leave yourself open from behind for too long. Because then the enemies will charge in. I wonder how many stages this game has. I think I made it to the final boss once before, but I absolutely couldn't handle him. Like, that final boss utterly destroyed me. I never stood a chance. I'm also curious what dark gold means. Death Adder makes sense because he's a snake. That could have gone a lot worse. When you get sandwiched between two enemies, they can really easily stun lock you. Simple changes in elevation like this change up the gameplay so much and add so much more depth to what's going on. Because when your mechanics are simple as in traditional beat 'em ups, any small change is going to have huge consequences. I really wasted that mount. I should have been far more careful. This last hit is lasting me a while also. Just the one lizard man. Not that I'm complaining. They've been consistently pretty difficult to fight so far. It's gonna take me a while to learn their whole deal. Start to continue? Oh, I get to keep my magic. I didn't expect that. Yeah, it seems like they're really good at... Did I just do an actual desperation move? I didn't know that was a feature. Huh. I'm getting too distracted. In the original Golden Axe, there was a move where you could attack behind you, but it wasn't anything that spectacular. Does it cost anything to do that, or can I just do it whenever? Because if I can just do it whenever, that really changes the gameplay. I should focus. Because the reason desperation attacks are called desperation attacks is you use them when you're desperate. They take a bit of your health when you use them. And if it doesn't take some of your health to use that attack, that makes it so useful. I can't describe how useful. But I'm not in a position to be sure right now. Alright, that's one of the lizards. I really got to be more careful. I don't know much about how to fight these guys because last time we fought them I was using a mount. It seems like I can't juke them. I can't just trigger their attack and then flee. But maybe I can lead them onto my plane and then maybe if I lead them onto a lower plane. Let's try the old standby, the headbutt. Ah. This is actually kind of tense. I'm trying to think of what options I haven't utilized yet. It may just be that I was underestimating the enemy's range. It might have been that simple. Like maybe if I paid more meticulous attention to the range of their attack and spaced out my own better, it would have gone better. Oh, like the castle gate to the final boss? Not that I'm complaining or anything. I feel like this base is from the first game somewhere. I think I'm getting a better hang of how to fight these guys. Yeah, this is definitely a track from the first game. 100%. I've heard this so many times. I think it might even be the opening track. Well, you know, these old beat 'em ups didn't tend to be particularly long or anything. I wonder if I'll make it to the final boss again or not. Ah, it feels like home. The spacing on that thing is so familiar to me. It must be similar to one of the beasts from the original Golden Axe. I don't like that it ran away, though. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with this game so far. Like, it certainly isn't exactly like Golden Axe 1 in any capacity. The enemies are tougher. The spacing is a bit different, both for the beasts and regular enemies. Attack range takes some adjusting. The attack on the chicken leg in particular feels very different. But it might be because I'm using it the wrong way. Like, maybe I'm supposed to hit enemies from behind with it. Yeah, that might be it. I might just not be... Yeah, I might just not be adjusting the mechanics properly. It looks like if I'm facing away from the enemies when I use it, they get hit much faster. That's actually kind of nice. That adds a little bit more depth than I realized was there before. See, I'm learning. Now I feel like I'm really picking up on what the beasts are putting down. See, this is the kind of thing I really enjoy about old games that I feel is missing from many new games is, sure, there are no character progression mechanics in this game, but there don't need to be because I'm the one who's getting better as a player. I'm the one who's improving. And that just feels a lot better to me than traditional character progression mechanics. Oh, let's use the magic. If there's ever a time to use the magic, now's it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with enjoying games that have character progression mechanics instead. I just prefer games without them. Though I do love me some action RPGs, and like the chief element of action RPGs is that there are character progression mechanics mixed with combat. But I feel like that's sort of the promise of action RPGs, is that the RPG elements will never interfere with your ability to enact skillful play. It's just there to enhance your options, to give you more ways to approach each situation. I think we must be nearing the final boss, or at least the door that leads to the final boss. It really seems like they're pulling out all the stops. Save for this encounter, which is just two of the club guys we fought a couple times now. I got a bit greedy with my combo. You gotta know when to drop your combo and play defensively. That's a really important part of the game. Oh! You know, I was kind of asking for that just walking in. So my guess is we fight these guys, and then a big guy comes out of the gate, and then we get to go in the gate after we defeat the big guy. That's how I would parse the situation. It seems like the guys with claws have incredible anti-air. Yeah. So I need to be much more careful about my attacks around them. I need to jump a lot higher before hitting them, I think. And hit them from just the right angle. Alright, who's the big fella? Oh, it's two of you. Okay. One of you wasn't so bad, but two I might have trouble with. Let's see if it seems like they get out of the way of the bash pretty consistently, so I don't think that's gonna work. And in spite of the fact that I was clearly way over that sword, it still hit me, so I don't think air attacks are gonna work. It might just be the case that I have to play this one straight. Like, be genuinely very careful with my spacing. Just get in there very close and cozy right after they swing, or right before they swing. Because I think my attacks might come out a little faster than theirs. Yeah, the boss design in this game is definitely a fair bit more difficult than in the original Golden Axe, for sure. Like, I think I'm managing okay, all things considered, but definitely a tougher game. No doubt about that. Like, I can pretty consistently beat the original Golden Axe at this point. This is a very different experience. I think I'm getting the hang of it. You want to approach from above and be wary of how swiftly their overhead swing can come out. If you get too close, they also have that shield bash. The range game is very particular with these guys. Honestly, it's kind of exciting to be challenged in this way. Like, especially after I played Final Fight 3 when my brother came over recently. It was a bit too easy. Having to understand the enemy's range in such a particular fashion in this game, actually really exciting. The real battle has just started. I'm ready, bring on the real battle. I think the decision to make the basic the mages that drop your magic actual enemy combatants was a pretty cool way to demonstrate that, you know, this is Golden Axe 2, we're not messing around anymore. This time we're actually trying to kill you. Alright. Just gotta jump high and oh. I kind of forgot that they could charge. Which you should never forget, especially in Golden Axe. Gotta remember to jump high. Jump real high. And then swing. It is refreshing that, you know, even though I've played a lot of beat-em-ups, and I'm pretty familiar with the genre, that I am having some trouble beating Golden Axe 2. Like, I might make it to the final boss, I might not. There's still a lot I don't understand about the enemies yet. I do understand that throwing them in pits is a good idea, though. Gotta remember that these guys are really good at pursuing, so I want to move up or down before I jump away. In that case, I just moved into his attack, which was on me. It is a very surreal thing to play a game which feels so familiar to something one loves, but at the same time so different. I didn't mean to dash there. Like I said, that is a risk with playing with an analog stick in a game like this. You can accidentally input things twice. I really gotta be more careful when I'm moving past enemies. Because that swing of theirs, it comes out really, really fast. And I still haven't quite understood the spacing properly. There aren't a lot of maneuverability options if I miss my swing. Oh, more skeletons? These guys have been pretty tough, even Even considering we fought tougher enemies since their introduction. I think this might be my last continue. Yeah, alright, last continue. We might make it to the final boss. I certainly don't know about actually beating him, but... A lot of people might call this game a hack and slash, but in my experience, hack and slashes and beat 'em ups are usually the same game. There's very little differentiation between them. It feels so much more like a beat 'em up to me than most games that have swords, though. And it's... I think it's kind of a superficial distinction to call something a hack and slash, because most often the only distinction is that it happens to have blade weaponry in it, as opposed to fists. So I just call them all beat 'em ups. We're gonna try and keep those guys down there if we can. We really don't... Well, now we're down here with them. We really don't want them coming up here and adding to the complexity of the battle if at all possible. That didn't go so well. That fight could have gone worse. It's really good when you can get two enemies like that. With the way I play the game, it's not common. But it is doable. Dark Gold time? We're gonna fight Dark Gold? Well, here's his stooges. I don't have much faith that we can take him out as we are. Like, I think we need a fair bit more health to take him down. And a couple more lives. But I don't actually know what his pattern is. See if I can... Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. Kind of a risky play, though. Oh, maybe that's not Dark Gold. He was sitting on the throne, but it doesn't... It certainly doesn't look like the fellow, if I'm being honest. It looks like a completely different fellow. That went really well. It's very unusual I can just beat the enemies off like that. Maybe after we fight him in this form, he'll put on his head. That was a really good play. That was a good call, that move. Okay, we got this. We got this guy. We fought him so many times in so many different configurations. Even though I'm very aware this is not the final boss, I'm sure we can handle him. And I think that's good enough. I think being able to handle this fellow, that's my victory. Yeah, and I understand the spacing so much better now. It is worth noting that it's also much harder to play this game while doing live commentary like I am. There's a lot of live reactions you have to make to everything, and a lot of very quick decisions. I walked too close that time. Alright. Oh, wow. Oh no! Well, I don't think we're winning this. I don't think we stand much chance against this. But, you know, I had fun getting here. It's been a ride. That's a lot of skeletons you're summoning, my friend. I really like the music here. I really like the aesthetic. Really like Dark Gold's design. I really don't like how much of the screen Dark Gold is taking up. Please stop summoning more skeletons, sir. It seems like jump attacks work against him, though. Like, pretty consistently. So, if I just play the jump attack game, maybe we stand a chance. I'm not holding my breath. It really does seem like the spacing for how enemies parse jump attacks in this game is completely different as compared to the original Golden Axe. It seems like that high jump attack is getting me more success pretty consistently. There's no way he's even 1/4 of the way down yet. But I have gotten more hits in than I expected I would. I think that on the second pass I could probably handle this guy. I cannot believe I just threw him. Well, that was actually a really good run. We put quite a dent in Dark Gold's armor, I think. That went really well, actually. I don't care what you say, Golden Axe. I think that was an SA performance. Well, that was fun. It was good to revisit Golden Axe 2. I actually like it so much more than I originally did. I recommend it. It's a good time.